Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another podcast. This is Mastermind the Naked Truth. Today I have the beautiful Michael Tree from Michigan. One of the coldest places in the world. Listen, today we're doing something very special. We got to talk about something today that a lot of people fail to ignore until it's too late. You know, I haven't been seeing a lot of this. I thought about it. I reached out to her. She's doing some beautiful things. So we're going to get into this thing 100%. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about life insurance, people. Something we all need. I understand how everybody feels about it. I understand it, but it's a part of life. So we're going to get into this thing. How you doing today, lady?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm just fine. Now that you here, I'm good. I seen you doing such a great thing with the life insurance and everything, and I needed to get you on here so you could talk to the people and give them a general breakdown and the ins and outs, because we really don't know. It's a major lack of information. Absolutely. And that's the reason why we're afraid. So just please kind of give people the ins and outs of it. You know, you can start whatever you like.
Okay. Well, first things first, life insurance is one of those things everyone knows that they need it, but for some reason they avoid it. Mm-hmm. I'm noticing people usually wait until they either have some type of health issues or unfortunately someone passed away in our community and we see the effects of someone not having life insurance.
Right.
But the first misconception I would say, because I do understand the other side, because at one point in my life I was on the other side as far as my thinking when it came to life insurance. Exactly. But first things first is people think that it may be expensive. Right. And then second, people feel like they're just going to live forever. You know, I'm 25 and what I need life insurance for. You know, I'm young, but as you probably know, we are living in the most craziest times where people are passing away at 20, 23, perfectly healthy, no health conditions, no bad health conditions, and next thing you know, they drop dead. And so don't just assume that you're just going to be living forever. Life will take a turn very quickly.
Definitely.
And second, they think it's just so expensive, but the reality is the younger you are, the healthier you are, the least expensive it is. So when you're young and you're healthy, it's cheap. But it's unfortunate people start thinking about it when they're older and they have bad health conditions, and now it's way more expensive, especially if they're over a certain age and they're retired. That means they own a fixed income. So like before, when you was just working, you're retired now, but it's just funny how things are just backwards. You don't think about it when you're young and it's cheap. You think about it when you're older. So I'm trying to find a way as a young millennial who's a life insurance broker to kind of convey to my age or even younger that listen, we all need it. It's not expensive, and just take care of your business now, because it's not like you're going to be dealing with it forever. Once you take care of, put it to the side, let your family know what you got going on, and then move on with your life. But unfortunately, in our communities, when I say our community, I'm talking about black people, black and brown people.
Sure, definitely.
Black and brown people, we don't take care of business. We just don't, and it's very disheartening because we're the ones that's affected the most. You know, even when I'm doing this, people are like, I got insurance. So I'm like, okay. I listen. I say, okay, well, how much do you have? And they like, you don't even know the business that you have going on. If I ask you right now how much is your phone bill, I'm sure you know about her. If I ask you right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you taking care of your business, you know your numbers, and it's just so disheartening when you see in our community, because it's like we're not taking care of business, and so many times. And that not just even like everyday people. You see it with celebrities. You know, people pass away. He didn't have life insurance. He didn't have a will. Like, we need to have our business together. And that is something that in our community, I'm really that's why I'm blessed to be in this industry, because not just, I'm doing sales. Like, I'm really like the fact that I'm having impact, because I want to see us do great. And we have to start by taking care of our business.
And you're helping people, because at the end of the day, listen, people, listen. No more GoFundMe's when people pass. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to come see my girl. Off top, she gonna take care of y'all. People, I get it. But life, what we're living now, death is a part of that. Sooner or later. Whether it's accidentally or whether it's age or whether it's whatever. People, please take care of your business. So let's talk about some of the packages. Let's kind of start at the base, and then work our way up.
Okay, so primarily there's two main different type of insurances.
Okay.
There is one more, but these are like the two that we all just know about. Generally speaking, those of us who have a little bit idea about insurance, you have term life and then you have whole life.
Okay.
There's this like big debate on the internet, which one is better, but whole life is pretty much whatever set price we give you, it will be set for the rest of your life. It doesn't go up, and it builds equity, as we know, as cash value.
Okay.
And then you have term. Term is usually temporary. It depends on which package you get. It comes in increments of 10. You can do 20. You can do 30 years.
Okay.
And then sometimes, not always, but term, the price increases. Depending on it could be yearly, it could be every 5 years. It increases, and it's usually to a certain date or age. So it might say up until 2030, up until you're 70. I personally have both. I have whole and I have term because, like I mentioned before, the younger you are, the least expensive insurance is. I have both. So that's something too that I've learned that people are not informed of. I had a lady the other day call me, "Hey, I want $100,000 on term." I'm like, may I ask why you want term?
Right.
Because the reality is, like I mentioned before, we don't know what it's gonna be our time that we expire.
Right, exactly.
So you might live into 95, and you have an insurance term that says up until 80. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not. Neither one is bad or good, but I do say. You always just want to. One thing about us, we have to think about long term. One thing about our community, just to sidetrack for a second, is that we like to think in the moment.
Yes.
Oh, it's $10.99. I could afford that. It's cheap. You know what I mean? Okay, but if it's only giving you like maybe $500, what can you do with $500?
Yeah.
If you pass away right now, especially if you want a burial, and I can get to that too, the different type of
Okay.
It's different type of products. Okay. But so people really need to just educate themselves and talk to people like me about the different types. But term and whole life are the main two ones as far as life insurance.
Right. Exactly. Because people have it way misconstrued. Because I'm gonna be honest with everybody. I'm not up on it 100%.
Right.
So that's exactly why I want to do this, because I love being educated. Like, we need to stop speculating about things and get real information. Listen, you need the best coverage of life insurance. You need to come see my girl. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? Her description will be right below in this video and on the post. So feel free to contact her. Serious people. Get it for your mother. Get it for your children. Get it for yourself. Get it for your husband.
Absolutely.
It's very important. So talk to us a little bit more about the difference, like you was mentioning cash value.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yes. So you might have heard, how some people say, well, use your own bank. Or borrow from your policy. And so depending on the insurance company, a lot of times after you, this is only whole life. Whole life is the only package where you can build cash value. So generally speaking, this is just generally 2 years after you have your policy, you start to generate cash value.
Okay.
So for example, you just start accumulating money. You would look back and say you had a policy for 10 years. Oh, you might have $5,000 worth of cash value that you can go borrow from yourself.
Right.
So you don't have to go to a bank because you're building your own bank.
Right.
With the insurance company. And not only that, when it comes to just investments, some insurance companies allow you to invest a certain amount of money tax-free.
Okay.
So that goes a little bit more on the financial side. But, but generally speaking, it's a lot of different elements to it. They even depend on the carrier. They have some options where, let's just say you become terminally ill. Okay. And the doctor says you have less than 6 months to live.
Okay.
Some carriers, when I say carriers, I'm talking about insurance companies. They will let you take out, money that's were meant for you when you pass. Okay. So just different benefits, because a lot of times we think that life insurance is when you pass away, which, it is, but it is for when you're living as well. Right. Because as you know, unfortunately, when people go through these things, it's very costly, and you really want to, you might be in a need of that extra money. So it's just, it's just you have options. It's not just, oh, well, this is when I die. You know, if something was to happen, again, back to having your business in order, it's like, you know what, I signed up with that lady, and I remember her telling me if I ever have any issues, I can come to my policy. And it's always good to always review your policy as well. I think people think when you get it, you leave it to decide what you do. But I at least tell people at least once a year, go over it, see how much cash value, especially with different companies. Some companies sell the business and things have changed. You thought you would have had 10,000, now you got 8. So just always just be on your ish. You know what I'm saying when it comes to your policy. But those are benefits as far as having it.
Now in the world, they definitely want to know this right here because I do. Like when you set the policy, not with the cash value, but when somebody passed. Right. How long is it before that you are able to get the money?
You talking about once you pass?
Yeah, once you pass.
So this is very important. That's a really great question. Now it just depends on the insurance company. I have people who literally put a claim in a couple days later. You know, because you have to move fast. You have to pay for the burial, depending on if you want a burial cremation. That's you want to talk about that. But so usually, generally speaking, depending on the insurance company, the people do pay pretty quickly.
Okay.
And they pay pretty quickly. And that's the thing too. You want to always make sure your beneficiaries up to date. Because this is a really big issue. Is people might have, like, let's just say you were married. Yeah. They had a wife as a beneficiary.
I'm not married. I'm not married. Not yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not married yet. But
let's just say you was married. Right. You got a policy and you had your wife as a beneficiary. This is something that's really a big issue within the insurance business. You say y'all get a divorce and you move on and you got married again, but you still got your first wife as your beneficiary. You never changed it.
Right.
And you pass away, and guess who reaped the benefits? Not your current wife and children, but your first wife. And then so it's just, again, back to taking care of your business.
Wow.
So all the money, so let's just say you left 100,000 or half of whatever you decide. That goes to your ex-wife. Right. You know, and then don't get me wrong, some people are, good-hearted people and still do the right thing, but you can't always,
I know a lot of people, they gonna be like, man, throw him in a box. We good. But that's the point about, ladies and gentlemen, taking care of your business. This is something that you gotta, like she said, reviewing your policy at least once or twice a year will prevent these type of things from happening because they are happening every day.
Yes, because even my own mom, I wrote her a policy. She already had insurance, but I gave her some additional insurance.
Right.
And she had my grandma on something. I said, my grandma been deceased for a few years now. She said, well, I have you on there too. I said, no, Mom, just take her off and put, either just, me or someone else. But just little things like that. It makes things go a lot smoother. So when that time does come, it won't be so much confusion. Because it's like, oh, well, this goes to her. It's more like, no, I have you down, you down, you down. And it makes things go worse. Because, losing a loved one is hard enough already. Yeah, you're dealing with a lot of emotional things. It's a lot of stress just by the fact that you lost a loved one.
Yes.
But adding finances, just other things, being disorganized, it just adds on to it. Right, so you want to make that transition smooth for your family.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, people be fighting, man, my stepmama didn't give me, not me, y'all, not me, but I'm just speaking in general, my stepmama didn't give nobody no money, and this, man, righteously, she ain't got to.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but y'all gotta make sure that your business, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
And it's important just to have those talks with your family, because, for example, I was doing a policy today, and when it comes to the beneficiary part, sometimes people, you can tell they have a very close-knit family.
Yeah.
And they feel the need to just give everybody something. So I always narrow it down to this. I'm like, who do you trust the most? Because this is the person that's going to be dealing with take care of your business. Yeah, it ain't always sometimes who you the closest with, because who you the closest with, no, they say might do the right thing. And so I always ask, I say, who do you trust the most if something was to happen to you? And and people want to be surprised when that time does come, but you have to do what's best for you. And that goes back into having that conversation with your family, just to be, hey, listen, just so you know, I put X, Y, and Z, on this, and she's going to be the one. We don't have that many conversations.
No, we don't.
Community, just like, hey, you know what? I want to be cremated. Oh, you know what? I want to be buried. Just so, because some people just do what they want to do, and sometimes they still do. But hopefully, you have a family that will honor your request if you had a request.
Right.
So I think it's just important just to have conversations with your family about what's going on, even though you might have it in writing, just to verbally tell them like, hey, I have Tanisha as my beneficiary. You know, just to make things a lot smoother, but depending on your family, as you know, some people that might, you know, cause a little conflict.
Listen,
yes.
They be fighting at the funeral.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Come on, y'all. Y'all know you know I'm telling the truth. Mm-hmm. So to avoid all those type of things like that, get your business straight. Know who's what. How you going on. If your daddy got 20 kids, you need to find out if you in the number. You know what I'm saying? You need to find out.
And if I can speak to the selfish-minded people, because we have a lot of selfish-minded people in our community. They feel like, well, shoot, I ain't worried about them. They can take care of it. It's a lot of people I'm talking about people who are married, who have children, because we have to think that it's only single people with no children. But I'm talking about people who are married, who have children, grandchildren. I want to speak to them for a minute, because imagine if your mom or your granddad or someone who's not here is imagine if they left you $100,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, don't get me wrong, they would never replace them, but it's like, you know what, now I can take this money and maybe I can take off a few months of work. Right. Maybe I can invest in this trucking company that I've been meaning to get funds for. Yeah. Like, we have to learn how to think outside ourselves for a minute. Yes. Because people just say, well, it doesn't matter, you know, why would you want to put that burden on your family? Yeah. You know, and it's very, depending on the age, it's not expensive. I know people think it's so expensive, but you know, but y'all spend that $250 on the Jordans, you know what I mean?
$500, go on that vacation.
You get that the Balenciaga shoes, that, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we got to get our priorities together.
Yeah, we very much do. On a serious note, people, she is very much so telling the truth. I agree 1,000%. Because we can't keep allowing these type of things to happen to us. You know, if we love our people, we need to put in the work. We need to speak these type of things into our children. Absolutely. We need to speak life into them. We need to speak prosperity into them, and we need to teach them to take care of their business. It's too many of us on a daily basis. We're losing too many brothers and sisters out here. And their business is not taken care of. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to do more, because running to the internet, you understand what I'm saying? Because we seeing it, you see it, she know it, I know it. You understand what I'm saying? You can't keep doing that, because that's not the right thing to do. We need to take self-accountability. You know what I'm saying? Self-accountability to take care of our business with mama. Or go to your mother, your daddy, or hey mama, you know, you got your business taken care of, yada yada. Yes. Please, people, we need to start doing this, man, because life is very valuable, though. But proceed.
And it's nothing more embarrassing to see somebody who lived this lavish life. Every time you turn around, they in Cabo, Jamaica, they sipping the finest wine, wearing all the top designers, got the Chanel bag, got the Louis Vuittons, you know, and then they pass away and their family is asking for you to donate. That is so embarrassing. Because don't get me wrong, you know, we are consumers, you know, no matter which way you look at it. But at the end of the day, at the bare minimum, you could at least take care of some business and to pay whatever, $30, whatever a month, just to make sure you're straight. That's embarrassing. We see that so much, even with celebrities, you know. What was that lady named? She's real popular on social media. She's an older lady, but you.
Oh yeah, I know. I can't think of her name, but the older lady.
And the fact that they have to do GoFundMe, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, because it's like not one person thought of the family to get, because that's the thing too, just another tip. You don't have to necessarily get insurance on yourself. You can have, so for say we siblings, or if you my brother, or my parents, they can get, no one thought to get insurance on you, you know what I mean? Not one person, and it's very embarrassing when you see these things happen, especially when someone's living such a lavish life. So it's like you didn't even take the time to make sure that you could have a proper burial. So it really is embarrassing. We need to just take care of our business as a people. We are so focused about looking rich and doing all these things, but when it comes down to it, it's like you don't even have life insurance.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We talk about generational wealth and finance and financial literacy. Don't get me wrong; those things are definitely very important. Right. But at the bare minimum, it's like you can at least have life insurance. Yeah. It's a start, even if you don't know where you're going.
I think that's one of the that's one of the most important things as an adult. Period. Right. You can't be. And I'm putting this out there, and I don't care who don't like it. You are not on top of your game. I don't care what you got, what you think you got. You are not on top of your game if you don't at least have your life insurance straight. You understand what I'm saying? Absolutely. Because anything can happen at any point in time, and you really have to make sure that business is taken care of. I cannot stress that enough. Come on now. Y'all know it. You're seeing it happening every day. You got a relative out there, ladies and gentlemen, that when they pass, people looking around, digging in pockets, trying to fit, And
you can always tell the families who didn't have life insurance because it takes a lot longer to bury them. You always know. Like, you like, dang, such and such passed away 2 weeks ago. You haven't buried them yet. You already know. So not everyone knows your business that you can take care of because it's like, okay, it's been almost I know somebody it was almost a month before they buried them. Goodness. So you really you don't want to be that person to where it's like, dang, he didn't have no life insurance. But also, I just want to speak to this too. This kind of embarrassing too, but this is tough love. This is coming from a loving place. Right. It's like, it's one thing when you're young because you do think you're going to live forever. What's disheartening to me is when I'm talking to older people who are grandparents, great grandchildren, and still don't feel the need to be responsible. Right. Like, you 65 years old talking about, hey, I don't need no insurance. What? You know what I mean? Like, it really, because it's like we're the ones, I feel like we're so behind on so many things, and it's just disheartening to see because we don't, not everyone, but people just don't see the value in life insurance. Right. But it's like, it's nothing I can do about that, but I just want to focus on people who are willing to learn, because that's the thing, because we don't know everything, so people are learning, and they, it was once upon a time I didn't know what I know now, but we do need to, correct how we think about life insurance. Yeah, definitely. And just get it in order. Like I said, when you're young, it's about what you can afford. You can, if you're young, like under 50, even over 50, it doesn't matter. It's so inexpensive. I found somebody else, she's paying $7 a month for her children. Wow. You spend more than that. $7. I know somebody paying $20 a month for life insurance. It does not have to be expensive. And I just want to really stress that out. It's very, very, very much affordable. It's just when you start getting older, and it definitely, the older you get, the more expensive it is. Okay. So y'all take heed to that. Right. It's best to get it when you're young, thoroughbred, keep stacking it up. And like I said, go back to the point she made. You can get the one that got the cash value. So it's always a benefit to it on the front end and on the back end, people. That's a lot better than going to the bank. A lot better. I mean, you could always make good of that. So definitely, tell and talk to the people about how they can get in touch with you. So I have a personal Instagram and I have a business one. You can contact me on either My Girl Micah, MYGIRL MICAH, and Micah the Broker is strictly life insurance. It's Micah MICAH the THE Broker, BROKER, Micah the Broker. That's the easiest way to contact me because it's through social media. Once you contact me, you will see my email address, and I think Micah the Broker might have my number. I'm not sure, but it's very easy to contact me. You can go to My Girl Micah or Micah the Broker. And we can set up an appointment. I can do remote. I'm here currently in a Dallas area, but if you're not, that's perfectly fine. I can still sign you up. We can just, like, if you call customer service, we can just do it over the phone, and But if you are here locally and would like to see me face to face, we can do that as well. Definitely. So that is a good point, because that was going to be my next question. Can anybody sign up with you anywhere in the world? Anywhere within the U.S. And when you leave the country, it's a little more complex. I'm sure I can. There's just, as a life insurance agent, you need to be licensed. Okay. So wherever you go, but let's just say, for example, I had a friend, she lives in Louisiana. Okay. And she said, hey, Mike, I want insurance on my family, her husband, her 2 children. I'm like, okay. Literally, I got a license within 2 hours.
Wow.
So it's just as simple as just applying, and sometimes it takes an hour. I've had it would take a day or two, but anywhere in the U.S. for sure, I can sign up. If people are terminally ill, they have cancer, all different issues going on. Right. You can still get life insurance. That's one thing I've noticed is a big misconception. People feel like, I have congestive heart failure, whatever the issue may be, where they might not be, here a longer time than the average healthy person, but you can still get life insurance. Oh, okay. I am a broker. I do not work with one particular insurance company, so I literally can get insurance on anyone with any health condition. Okay. That's a misconception too, as well. But that's why I think I'm a broker because some insurance companies won't take certain people with certain issues. Wow, okay. But since I'm a broker, I'm with several different insurance companies. I can insure anyone. Okay. So that's a bonus about being a broker versus just an agent working with one insurance company.
Definitely. We don't want you going to them. We want you going to her.
Yes.
So like I said, the description will be below the video in the post all over social media. You name it, it's there. Ladies and gentlemen, please. All jokes aside.
Yes.
One thing that we get every day, ladies and gentlemen, that's a chance and a choice. Right. We have to start putting more values on the choices we make every day. And this right here with life insurance is definitely one of the best choices, greatest choices that we can ever do for ourselves, for our children, for our loved one. Ladies and gentlemen, please, please. God bless everybody. Like I say, the descriptions will be below. Contact her. Be ready to do business. She will take care of y'all. Thank y'all so much for y'all time. And like I say, you can do it. Death is a part of life. Take care of that business. Absolutely. Come see my girl. God bless you all. Peace.